There's a frequency between us, not seen, not touched, but felt, closer than the air we breathe. I was walking through a crowded street, faces passing incomplete, everyone with somewhere to go, but something deeper moving slow. I felt a rhythm in my chest, not the kind that comes from rest, like an unseen thread of light, pulling hearts through day and night. We build our lives on brick and stone, still we ache when we're alone, searching for a higher view, something timeless, something true. And in the silence of reflection, I found a spiritual connection. When the noise begins to fade away and the doubts no longer stay, there's a current running strong, like a never-ending song. Spiritual connection, deeper than the eye can see, flowing like a river through you and me. No division, no deception, just a higher resurrection. Spiritual connection, rising from the soul's reflection. Love becomes the true direction. In every heart, in every section, we are one in this connection. I've seen walls built out of fear, heard the shouting loud and clear, different colors, different names, still we're playing similar games. We reach for power, grasp for gold, but the greatest truth untold is a whisper in the mind, the unity we're meant to find. It's not in crowns or thrones above, it's in simple acts of love, not in weapons, not in pride, but the space we hold inside. Close your eyes and feel the direction, that invisible connection. When the ego steps aside and compassion is our guide, there's a light that shines within, where the healing can begin. Spiritual connection, deeper than the eye can see, flowing like a river through you and me. No division, no deception, just a higher resurrection. Spiritual connection, rising from the soul's reflection. Love becomes the true direction. In every heart, in every section, we are one in this connection. Sometimes I forget the thread, chasing shadows in my head, fighting battles of my own, feeling stranded and alone. But then a stranger's gentle smile makes the distance worth the while. In a moment clear and bright, darkness turns to light. There's a harmony we share, floating softly in the air, not a dream and not a scheme, more than what it seems. Every question, every reflection leads me back to that connection. just the courage to believe in something we can't see. From the city to the open sky, from the question, who am I? There's an answer softly said in every tear we've shed. It's the bond that can't be torn, the unity we're born, beyond the flesh and bone complexion, leaves a sacred connection, spiritual connection, stronger than the fear we know, brighter than the afterglow, breaking every false protection. Love becomes our true reflection, spiritual connection, hinting hearts in every direction, healing through divine affection, across the earth without exception. We are one in this connection, spiritual connection. There's a whisper in the chaos, a melody beneath the noise. If you listen past the thunder, you can hear the quieter voice. I was searching in the mirror of a broken world, watching every flag unfurl, crying for a sign, drawing borders in their minds. We build our towers tall with pride, while love gets pushed aside. But in the silence of the night, I saw a different kind of light. Not the flash of power or fame, not a badge or a name. It was gentle as a dove, stronger than a fist in a glove, and it sang the darkest stars of a triumphant God. When the world says you can't go on, there's a truth that keeps me told me truth was relative, that hope was something primitive. But I've seen grace in battered shoes and faith that headlines never choose. I met a mother on her knees, praying through her disbelief, and in her trembling, fragile nod I saw the strength of God. Not a tyrant on a throne, but a king who calls us home. Not a judge with stone-cold eyes, but mercy in disguise. The victory isn't won by a sword, but by the quiet of the Lord. And every chain that once seemed odd breaks before triumphant God. When my strength begins to fade and the debts of life are paid, there's a promise in the flame. Love remains the same. Triumphant God, you rise above it all. When kingdoms fade and empires fall, through the fire, through the flood, still you reign. Triumphant God, triumphant God, love is your song, turning weak hearts into strong. In the shadow of the cross we stand, held forever in your hand. Imagine a world where hearts awake, not for power, not for gain, but for the simple truth that love will always rise again. No more walls between our names, no more glory built on shame, just the quiet, steady nod of a triumphant God. Triumphant God, above the storm, you are peace in every form. Through the battle and the blood, you remain. Triumphant God, triumphant God, lift us high beyond the fear, beyond the lie. From the earth up to the stars, you heal our wounded hearts. Triumphant God, love will overcome. Triumphant God, your kingdom come. Love is stronger than the night. Triumphant God, triumphant God. There's a light beyond the skyline, past the noise and the confusion. If you listen with your heart now, you might hear it calling. I was staring at the evening news, same old story, different shoes. People marching, people afraid, promises already starting to fade. We draw our lines upon the sand, pointing fingers hand in hand, looking for somebody else to blame, while we're all playing the same old game. But I felt a whisper in my soul, not loud but it made me whole. Said there's more than what you're seeing, more than simply human being. Not a kingdom built on pride, not a truth we try to hide. It was gentle, pure and patient, calling me to holy salvation. When the night seems far too long and you've forgotten your own song, there's a spark beneath the doubt, waiting to come out. Holy salvation, shining like a morning sun, not for the few but for everyone. Through every trial, every told him softly, look within. That's where the revolution begins. Not with anger, not with hate, but opening a different gate. It's not a throne up in the sky, it's a truth you can't deny. A love that heals the separation. That's the path of holy salvation. When the walls are closing in and you're drowning in your sin, there's a door that opens wide with mercy on the other side. Holy salvation, shining like the morning sun. Not for the few, but for everyone. Through every trial, every temptation, we're lifted by holy salvation. Holy salvation, stronger than the fear we face, moving at a steady grade. From desperation to liberation, love becomes our holy salvation. They taught us power makes you strong, but power's often wrong. They taught us wealth defines a man, but wealth slips through your hands. I've seen kindness break a chain, I've seen forgiveness conquer pain. I've seen strangers share their bread where angels fear to tread. Maybe heaven isn't far, maybe it's where we are. In every act of empathy, in every choice to set love free. Not a dogma or persuasion, but a heart transformation. A quiet, peaceful elevation. That's the gift of holy salvation. When you feel you've gone too far and you're wishing on a star, there's a voice that softly calls through the cracks in broken walls. Holy salvation, shining like the morning sun. Not for the few, but for everyone. Through every trial, every temptation, we're lifted by holy salvation. Holy salvation, stronger than the fear we face, moving at a steady grace. From desperation to liberation, love becomes our holy salvation. Holy salvation. Imagine a world not ruled by fear, where mercy is louder than hate, where we see ourselves in one another and choose love before it's too late. No need for crowns or domination, no need for endless compensation. Just hearts awake in realization that we belong to one creation. From the city lights to open fields, from broken hearts that never healed, there's a current running strong, like an ancient sacred song. It doesn't shout, it doesn't boast, it's found in those who need it most. In every tear that's wiped away, in every dawn of a better day. It's not about denomination or winning some grand ovation. It's love beyond limitation, the truth of holy salvation. Holy salvation, rising like a tidal wave, turning sinners into brave, breaking every chain of frustration. Holy salvation, brighter than the stars above, There's a steady rhythm underneath it all. I've been watching all the seasons change, faces shift and rearrange, promises written in the sand, washed away by careless hands. Leaders rising, leaders fall, echoes fading down the hall. Every headline, every nod seems to crumble under fraud. But somewhere in the quiet dawn, before the night is fully gone, there's a truth that doesn't sway, still the same as yesterday. Not a theory, not a facade, just a dependable God. When the ground beneath me shakes and every certainty breaks, there's a calm beyond the storm, keeping my spirit warm. Dependable God, steady as the rising sun. When all the fragile things are done, through every doubt and every scar, you are exactly who you are. Dependable God, constant through the shifting tide. You're the anchor in my life when everything feels flawed. I lean on a dependable God. Hey. I've seen friendships fade away, words we never meant to say. I've seen fortunes built on pride disappear like changing tide. We chase tomorrow like a dream, but nothing's ever what it seems. We build our castles tall and grand, still they slip right through our hands. Yet in the middle of the spin, there's a quiet voice within, not demanding, not too loud, but faithful, firm and proud. Through the laughter and the sob stands a dependable God. When my strength begins to fall and I'm staring at the wall, there's a whisper in the dark, lighting up a spark. Dependable God, steady as the rising sun. When all the fragile things are done, through every doubt and every scar, you are exactly who you are. Dependable God, constant through the shifting tide. You're the anchor in my life when everything feels flawed. I lean on a dependable God. A dependable God. They told me trust in what you see, in numbers and authority. But numbers change and power bends, even empires meet their end. I felt the tremor of despair, the weight of unanswered prayer. I've walked the road of losing faith, questioning amazing grace. But every time I thought I'd fall, there was mercy in it all. Every crack became a sign of something more divine. Not a myth or mirage, but a dependable God. When the night is cold and long and I've forgotten my own song, there's a melody inside that refuses to hide. Imagine a love that doesn't fade, not with distance, not with time. A truth that isn't swayed by fashion or shaken by the climb. No need for fear of tomorrow, no drowning in regret. Just a hand that's always reaching, even when we forget. From the cradle to the grave, from the coward to the brave, every heartbeat, every breath, held beyond life and death. Not confined to place or creed, closer than our deepest need. Through confusion, through applause, faithful without pause. In every high and every hour stands a dependable God. Dependable God, brighter than the morning light, holding us through every night, through every question, every fraud. Still you stand, dependable God. Dependable God, stronger than the fear we hide. You were always by our side when everything feels flawed. We trust in a dependable God. Dependable God, ever true, ever new. Steady and strong, dependable God. Hey. Yeah. When the morning breaks and the light comes through, there's a gratitude rising deeper than words. Woke up to another dawn, breathing my lungs, night is gone. I don't take it casually, every heartbeat's a gift to me. I've walked roads I shouldn't survive, still somehow I'm here alive. Through the chaos and confusion, you were my quiet solution. When the world felt cold and dark, you lit a steady spark. When I stumbled in my mess, you answered with forgiveness. Through every high and every low, more than I'll ever know, grace carried me through. So I said thank you when I didn't understand the plan. You still held my hand through the questions and the blues. You never let me lose. Thank you, Jesus, for the mercy and the grace, for the love I can't replace. Through the storm and through the test, you have always known what's best. Thank you, Jesus, for the cross and open door, for the hope forevermore. Every breath and every reason my heart sings. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. I've seen friends turn and walk away. I've seen skies turn from blue to gray. Dreams that fell apart at night, battles I was scared to fight. But in the silence of despair, I felt your presence there. Not in thunder, not in flame, but whispering my name. You took the broken pieces, turned them into reasons. You took the shame I wore and laid it down at the door. What kind of love stays true when I fall? just a faith that still endures through the questions in my mind. You're the peace I always find. I've chased shadows, chased applause, built my life on fragile laws, but nothing ever satisfied like knowing you're my guide. You're the anchor in the tide, the compass when I've lost direction. Not religion made of rules, but a living connection. Through the laughter and the bruises, through the wins and the losses, there's a gratitude that chooses to remember what the cross is. When the night feels long and cold and I'm feeling small and old, there's a fire in my chest telling me I'm blessed. Thank you, Jesus, for the mercy and the grace, for the love I can't replace. Through the storm and through the test, you have always known what's best. Thank you, Jesus, for the cross and open door, for the hope forevermore. Every breath and every reason my heart sings. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Not because my life is perfect, not because I have it all, but because you never left me, even when I fall. Gratitude rising higher, like a steady burning fire. From the valley to the peak, you are faithful when I'm weak. Thank you, Jesus, for the grace that set me free, for the love that rescued me. Through the valleys, through the seasons, you are always my foundation. Thank you, Jesus. Lift my hands and lift my voice. In your mercy I rejoice. Every breath and every reason my whole life says, thank you, Jesus. Thank you, Jesus. Forever and ever. Thank you, Jesus.